Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. And we should let you know that tonight's Joe and Joe Weather Show will have a 7 p.m. start time instead of 7:35. Got several weather systems all in play. Sitting in a sweet spot today. Talk all about it tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, again at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Our satellite loop shows three systems. So we still have that pesky, ridiculously slow moving upper air storm in eastern Canada that continues to dictate the flow in the eastern part of the United States. It's finally starting to show some signs of moving eastward. It was north of Lake Huron for the last 3 days. Now it has moved to the north of upstate New York, not too far from Montreal. It is doing a good thing today with all this moisture in the Gulf states and in the southeastern part of the United States, as well as over northern and central Florida, where we've got some severe weather going on, as well as tornado watches that were put up earlier today. Well, all of this sliding to our south. So we're going to enjoy sunshine for the rest of the afternoon. An arm of clouds from western Pennsylvania, narrow arm of clouds, and that extends westward into a rotation that you see back in the northern plains. That is our storm system that is coming for the weekend. But as far as today is concerned, some scattered showers in upstate New York and up in Maine. The rest of New England is fine. So is the rest of the Northeast down to Virginia, and then we've got some steady rain in eastern North and South Carolina that is sliding to the east, and severe weather as of 1 o'clock this afternoon. That is moving across northern Florida. In the meantime, the plains system is producing snow and some heavy snows in parts of central and western Wyoming down into north central Colorado. We have heavy rain and some thunderstorms in the mix from South Dakota eastward into Iowa and starting to nose into southern Wisconsin. And the West is quiet for the time being. Storm Prediction Center today, as we said, this afternoon we have a working tornado watch in the northern and central Florida. That's inside an area of slight risk of severe weather. We also have a slight risk for severe weather in parts of the central plains. Tomorrow and Saturday, it goes to a marginal risk for Illinois, Iowa, and Missouri. And then as we move on to Saturday into Sunday, we see a small area of marginal risk in eastern North Carolina and a very tiny portion there of the South Carolina coast. Now, as far as rainfall is concerned, WPC, we kind of going back and forth with rainfall amounts. So this is a 7-day rainfall forecast, which takes us through next Thursday morning. There might be another system to deal with on Tuesday night, Wednesday. We'll get to that in a moment. But I think the bulk of what we're going to see is probably going to happen for Saturday into Sunday morning. And WPC has an inch and a half with 2.5 inch plus amounts touching the New Jersey shore and offshore. So you could probably subtract a little bit off of that since it includes the system for later this week. And you see the heavy rains that are being indicated across the plains and into the western part of the Great Lakes. So, with this blocky pattern, the system in eastern Canada not getting out of the way, going to force this plains low that is right now in central Kansas. Initially, it moves northeast, but then it starts to get shoved east and then southeast as we through Friday and Saturday. No weather problems, obviously, for the rest of today or tonight. I think tomorrow should be a fine day, although it will be a little bit cooler. Wind coming down from the north and some cooler air thanks to a big high that's building around that low that you see in northern Illinois. Well, that's going to move southeast into Ohio. A secondary develops there along the South and North Carolina coastline, and that'll become the main center. We'll have rain and a fairly raw northeast wind developing later Saturday and Saturday night into Sunday. The rain will probably continue into early Sunday morning before that first low pulls out. I just don't know how much clearing we're going to be able to accomplish here because of the flow being still somewhat onshore, and we also still have the upper air low, which is going to be to our west, and that's going to take its time moving. Could produce perhaps a couple of patchy showers on Monday, and then again Monday night. And then you can see this low that forms off the North Carolina coast Monday night and kind of curls back uh, to the west a little bit. So some rain is being indicated. Not a lot, at least on this model run. It seems to be on the coast, not much going on inland, but it does make for unsettled weather conditions until we get to maybe Wednesday of next week, and then we finally start to see some genuine improvement before we have to deal with the next round of changes. So we'll discuss all of this in great detail tonight on the Joe and Joe Weather Show. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.